Matt just showed you can run native in Acumatica where the orders are sourced in Acumatica, or we've done work with the eCommerce edition of Acumatica working with the Magento and Shopify interfaces in both cases. That includes light manufacturing. So you can take an order in Acumatica or an order using the configurator that can be tied to the Magento integration vis-a-vis the e-commerce edition of Acumatica. And the flow is the order comes in and Greg has designed a tool that says, well, is the item in stock? If it is, go generate a pick ticket. If it's not in stock, well, is this something we drop ship or not? If it's not, then we can go to our light assembly and light manufacturing tool. And Greg will demonstrate that to you. If the answer is yes, it's something that we assemble in the back office, we'll go out and we'll say, okay, is everything available to go assemble it or not? If it's not, it'll go generate a purchase order for the raw material required to manufacture the product, or assemble is a better term, and then we'll create the work order. So what happens essentially is the order comes in and a work order piece of paper gets generated on a printer in the shop, and someone looks at it and says, oh, I've got to go assemble this product we sell. They assemble it, they push the button, and then it pops, it goes into finished goods. When it goes into finished goods, Acumatica automatically creates the pick ticket and you ship the guy. So this is designed for folks who don't want to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on the manufacturing module within Acumatica, but rather the $3,000 that we charge on a subscription basis, and no MRP, MPS, etc. Instead of $20,000 implementation, a $2,000, $3,000 implementation. And now let me kick it over to Greg. Okay, Greg, you're on.
You're going to make me the presenter?
Yes, I just did. So you should see.
This is all.
Does that light manufacturing have any ability?
That was me,
to
Jim. You need to do it again. To Greg, not me.
Okay, excuse me. Yes, please ask the question.
Yeah, does light manufacturing tell you when the item is not in stock to make the components that are required? Does it tell you when it's going to have it in and give somebody a notice of when it will be available and when you can ship it?
No.
Okay, it doesn't do that. Okay, it just runs through this process, places the order.
Yeah, but you can have a you can have a GI, which would then show you the outstanding purchases with the lead times, and so you'd have you've got a poor man's visibility because you know when the PO was sent, and you know what the lead time is from your vendor. So if your vendor's trusted, utilizing those types of tools that are native Acumatica, you can track the purchase orders, right?
Okay. Is this using kits at all?
Yes, it does use kits, and Greg's going to describe that right now.
Okay.
Because it's literally built on augmenting Acumatica's kit technology to create bills of material. All right, Greg. You can see your screen.
You can see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just as Jim said, there are two flavors of this product. There's one that gets information off of the configurator, and then there's one that I kind of refer to as the job shop version, which is the one I'll show today. It's where you're creating a bespoke item for a customer, and somebody in your back office or back shop has to create the product and then tell everybody it's done, and then we can ship it and make sure that that product and serial number that maybe were created for that product actually get delivered and shipped to that customer. So that's sort of what this does. You can actually drive it from the sales order. If you were a job shop, you could drive it from the sales order. If I go in and I select a customer, pick an item. This is an item that I have identified as being a manufactured item. Whoops, didn't like that item. Wrong part number. 260246. So there's an item there, and you'll notice that the system, our customization, has added some stuff in here. It's identified that this is an item that is ready for release to production. So you'll notice that my create shipment menu is not ready for this particular item because the product is not here yet and the production order is not done. So what I do is I'll just actually release that to production. That will go out and it will create a production order, which is in the planning stage right now. I can go to that, I can edit that order. At this point in time, you can add all of the items that you may want to add to it. You can change your quantities, you can do whatever you'd like. You can put extra labor operations on here if you like. This is why we call it dynamic assembly, is you don't have to go through the rigmarole of creating a hard kit specification and then creating a kit assembly to do that. This sort of overlays that functionality for you and just allows you to create a bespoke item for the one particular order. This is just lets me go back to my sales order. If it's a different person doing this particular activity and they want to get back to the sales order and see any notes or anything that were captured by the salespeople, there's a quick reference back there. When I'm actually happy with my build, I can actually approve the build, and when I approve the build, it's actually got an error there. It's actually gone out and it's actually created a kit here, and now I can actually quick complete the item. If I just want to backflush with the quantities that I have specified here, I can do that. If my quantities, if people in the manufacturing department had to scrap something and use some extra product or something, then I could at that point change my quantities right here, and then I could actually do that. Problem with this order is I have a 0 planned quantity, so it actually didn't work. But when you come back to your order, when you're actually back here, you can actually go and let me just create a better one here. Let me just create a new one. I made a mistake on that one. I'll create my product here. What do I want here? I want to add 120246. Okay, I want a quantity of 5. Okay, now I want to release that to manufacturing. Now I want to edit the production order. Now I'll see that I have a quantity of 5. It's telling me if I'm short anything, I'm not actually short anything to do this. So I can actually approve this build. I can look at the underlying kit that's made. Well, I guess we can't today. All right, and I should be able to quick complete it. Oh, I've got a problem. This is serialized inventory. I have to actually go back to the kit, and some of the items that are being consumed are actually serialized items. So I have to go back to the kit at this point and select which items were serialized, and then I can actually complete the kit. When it's complete, then I can go on. I can actually, I have a, whoops, wrong one here. I actually have a production order, which would be the piece of paper that would actually go out to the fellows in the shop. This one's been customized kind of for a particular customer. Generally, these are going to be tuned for each individual customer, but that's what the implementers can do. So, and that's pretty much how it works.
Is there a place anywhere in here where you can do some of those things and the person puts the order in, but somebody else can see all the items ahead and do the creation of the production orders in bulk or in mass versus doing them, going back to the sales order and doing them one at a time?
Yeah, you can just create a purchase order for. You can just create a production order for an item. If you want, you can just create a production order for an item. This one has no sales order associated to it, so I can put on the item.
I understand that part of it. I'm just asking. Somebody's just typing away, putting in orders. We know that item's an item to be built somehow. Is there any other screen that you have included that would show me all the items ahead that I need to approve or build, or is that a GI that's got to be built?
There is this screen here, I think, which is the one you're wanting, which is telling me all of the work orders that are out there, the status that they are, what I want. So if I'm working on this job,
this would be all work orders that were already created, though, right? Not just sales orders waiting to have work orders created.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
It would be a GI that we would, in that case, you'd probably have to do a GI for all sales orders that have.
Yeah. And then we have another customer. We have another customer that they make bound products, mybinding.com, and the orders, people configure what the covers are on the website. And then our work order system creates these covers, and you can get literally 1,000 different colors, but the black, the red, and the blue are the main ones. So oftentimes they'll get an order and for 10, but they'll create a work order for 1,000 because they want to build up the stock, because the black ones get ordered in large quantities, and they know that. So back to my original diagram, is the thing in stock or not? You can create work orders without a sales order attached. So that's kind of a complement to your question, right? Because you're pre-building, and in that case, you're out, hey, do I have these items that I know I need in quantities for the assembled goods? So,
is it fair to say then too that if I had a line item on a sales order for 5 like you had, it creates the work order? Can I change that work order to say I want 10, even though only 5 are going to be satisfying the one sales order?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So that was one of good question. That's what we added value to the product, and then this last iteration serialized. So we actually can serialize the components as well as the finished good, which is an order of magnitude more complex, as you know, because in general, this, for a dynamic distributor, think someone that sells fake potted plants, right? You can stick a Ficus benjamina or a palm in the pot, and you can paint the pot red, black, or green, and you can stick rocks or fern inside the pot, right? So that's what you're assembling. So that's a good example of how this product would complement a distributor who does light assembly and doesn't need a big manufacturing product. Or is something a little bit more complex here, where they're actually putting a serialized configured item into a finished good.
Okay. I'm assuming that you have not done anything that would allow replenishment inside of Acumatica to read the components any more than it does.
That's a standard feature of Acumatica. If you set up Acumatica correctly, demand on kit assemblies, which is the underlying document that we're sort of hovering over here with this product. If you have demand on the kit assemblies and replenishment is set up correctly, that demand will show up. And the
component demand won't show up.
Yeah. We have
you'll have to show that to me sometime.
We have that working for a customer. Yeah.
Okay.
So, do we want to go on to TPW?
Sure. So, we have a tool that we call Third Party Warehouse.